Hey tech guy, what are you up to?
I was just about to pack up all these computers and sell them on eBay.
But you cannot do that, you would go to jail.
Didn't you see the July 18th Monroe County Commission meeting?
No.
Well, Madok presented the BOCC with evidence that missing tagged assets are then systematically approved by the Commission in the form of deletion requests as old equipment. He proved that there is absolutely zero accountability of Monroe County assets.
I cannot believe it. How does it work?
Simple. I take all these new computers and sell them on eBay. I then take the cash and buy a Ride Me Cowboy outfit.
But won't the clerk find out?
Yes. According to Clerk Danny College, he does an annual inventory and then will report the missing inventory.
To the county commission?
No. To me.
Surely you are kidding.
No. Not one bit.
But then what happens? The missing items are still on your inventory list.
Correct. They stay on the list as missing until I file a deletion request with the county commission in a few more years.
But then the county commission will see that they have been missing.
No. I simply state on the deletion request that they are old and outdated. The item then gets approved without anyone looking at it. No one ever realizes that I sold the computers years ago and have been enjoying my Ride Me Cowboy outfit for years. I also should get a new motor for my boat too.
But surely someone on a commission would care if they found out about it.
No. As I said, Madok just showed them a specific example, and they completely ignored him.
I cannot believe it. Our commissioners are smart enough to understand that.
If you say so. Here, let us look at some clips from the meeting before I haul off this new Dell desktop.
But it's something that I've looked at for a while, and it seems to be a systematic approach to accounting for inventory that's gone missing a long time ago and is now kind of rearing its head in the form of deletion requests. And it's always in the form of it being obsolete equipment or old broken equipment, but in fact it's been missing for quite a while, and it's not it doesn't indicate the days that it actually went missing. This particular item is in relation to the health department's request, and in the email I sent you, I did cite 4 specific items. Now there are many, many more, and historically throughout other deletion requests they exist as well. I'd just like to read them into the record if I could. Items 6378, 6218, 6203, and 5997 are laptops from 2007 and 2008 that are on there signed by Mary Vandenbroek saying that they are old and out of warranty. But the disturbing thing is these requests are asking the Commission's approval to dispose of them. But you'll note that she actually wrote they've already been disposed of. In a public records request that I received from Mr. Coolidge in February of this year, those items appear in the what appear to be the 2011 report as having not been found since April of 2009. They appear on a closeout of inventory in 2010 taken August 5th, 2010 that show they've been missing 2 years. And the health department knows about this. I also have email exchanges with Mr. Edie and Ms. Vandenbroek where I was trying to ask them what happened to the equipment that was missing 2 years in 2010. And so it's interesting now that Ms. Vandenbroek can sign a document before this commission saying she's disposing of those 4 items, and I'm only referencing those 4 because they're very easy to trace. There are many others. Some of them are legitimately obsolete. But this equipment has probably been missing since 2009 when it was only 1, possibly 2 years old, if not almost brand new. And if you look through all your deletion requests for the last 3 years, I can sit there forensically and show you many, many items that this has been a historic pattern. And we're looking at a headline in the paper today from the keynoter about our technology director here in the county who's just been indicted for iPads. And it amounted to about $20,000 worth of iPads of equipment below $1,000. This equipment that's on your agenda is above $1,000, tagged and barcoded, and should be accounted for by the clerk's office. And you should be aware that it was missing since 2009, but you're not, apparently, if it's just going to be approved in bulk. This equipment makes the iPads historically look like a drop in the bucket in the numbers we've had from tech services, the fire department, and health services as well. Mr. Edie himself wrote a letter to Kevin Madok of the clerk's office, who oversaw our property clerk, in 2009, justifying $200,000 in deletion requests that he submitted to the commission for approval of obsolete equipment, saying he was going to put policies in place to prevent it from happening again. The very next year, he was missing this $20,000 worth of equipment. He justified it again with a deletion request that never went before the commission, and now you're seeing that equipment today. I think it's a shame. I think it should be looked into, and I think this has been a systematic way that equipment much larger than the iPads have been disappearing from our county, and I think it's your duty to avoid future headlines like this, to look into this in detail, and if you'd like, I know it's very, very complicated. I can provide you everything I have. Thank you.
Gardy seems like he has some pretty convincing evidence. So what did the commissioners have to say?
George Nugent said he has looked into it before and he ignored the documents Gardy had sent him. It made me giggle so hard it hurt my belly. Listen here.
That when you first look at it, it certainly steps out as a red flag. But in every instance, since I've been on the commission and looked in this, and it goes back to Public Works disposing of a lot of equipment, I am yet to find any irregularities, even though it stands out as an irregularity. You know, I'm yet to find any substance to those irregularities. I just wanted to put that on there for anybody's edification.
But surely the clerk had something to say.
Yes, he did. He said he sees nothing wrong with it.
I see nothing about I see no irregularities involved in this whatsoever. I see nothing about I see no irregularities involved in this whatsoever.
Did any commissioners ask any questions of substance?
Commissioner Murphy started to, but then got snowed by the clerk. Watch.
But I have a couple of questions while we're on the subject of inventory. Who is in this county in charge of inventory? Who's in charge of all of the property, the hard property that we own?
Well, let me tell you how it is. As I said, the clerk's office does the physical inventory.
Okay.
But we are not responsible for the management of that inventory.
Okay, what do you mean by management?
Oh, in other words, what we do is we go out, we do the review, we physically see and do an annual inventory.
Okay.
We report the finding.
Are you basing that on those little numbers, barcodes that are on? Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
We report the finding to the custodian. You have many custodians throughout all your departments.
You report that person who takes the inventory.
Yes.
Reports to the custodian?
Yes.
In 3 different parts of the county?
Yes, ma'am.
It's ridiculous.
Well,
I think what he means is every single office. For example, if there was something missing from my office,
Yes.
the clerk would report it to me.
well,
But that makes no sense. That would mean if the clerk found out that Lisa Druckmiller had missing equipment, that he would report it to Lisa Druckmiller.
Exactly. Remind me to clean out the server room as well. I could use the new bedroom set.
but they are the custodian of the property beneath Mr. Gustezi, who is
Okay.
responsible overall. Right.
And that person is 50 different people in the county?
Yep. Different people. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Well, is it no wonder that we have such long lists of missing stuff? It's probably in somebody's closet somewhere, I mean, on premises.
We're chasing.
How in the world can all these custodians ever keep track of, in other words, nobody has the big picture until it's put into a list that comes to us?
And we don't make this stuff up.
Danny, I'm not accusing anybody. I'm trying to understand. It sounds like an incredibly messy routine to me.
But what about Heather Carruthers? She is pretty bright. What did she do?
She got sidetracked about giving old equipment to charity. Clerk Collage indulged her with some BS about how they tried to, but then was shut down by his tech guy.
I'm just curious. When we say that particular like computer equipment is obsolete, and it might not be right for our purposes for the ways businesses use them, but do we donate them to like schools or organizations that can use them, that don't need robust computing capabilities?
Well, you have a policy. The board has a policy now that
I believe all the constitutional officers have agreed to, I know I do, is that when we have a piece of computer equipment that we think is not functional anymore, or is beyond repair, whatever, we refer that to your department, who will do an analysis and review of that to determine, is this something functional? Can we, does it make sense to advertise? Can we, if it's functional, can we donate it according to the statute and so forth? So, are we still doing that, Bob? We're still screening the stuff through your department?
Good morning. For the record, Bob Ward. I'm the Senior Administrator for Networking for Technical Services. At present, I do not believe that we are doing any evaluation of obsolete equipment.
Again, it made me giggle. Even when she seconds the motion to approve, she asks what else are we going to do with the old equipment.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there a second?
I guess I'll second. What else are we going to do, store it?
Yeah.
Store it?
How can we hold on to something that has been missing for years?
Exactly. Now you're catching on.
What else are we going to do, store it?
Yeah.
What else are we going to do, store it?
Yeah.
But what about Bob E.D., the guy who runs the health department? What did he have to say?
He admitted that the equipment was missing and that he could never find it. He challenged Gardy to provide him with proof.
I have had discussions and email exchanges with Mr. Gardy. He has stated that he has information. I haven't seen the information with regard to a lot of things, but I have also suggested that if there's wrongdoing or something that he go to the state's attorney or to the sheriff's office. And with regard to these laptops, they are things that they have been missing. I'm not able to tell you, I'll admit that right now, where these are, because we've looked everywhere. But there are, I can assure you that either they were obsolete or they were not working or not functioning.
The proof was what he just said. The equipment was missing and not old and outdated, as the signed deletion request clearly states.
You're the one that suggested our commissioners are bright.
But what about other candidates for clerk of court?
Aside from Gardy, the only other candidate who has said anything is Kevin Madok. He is the one who has been directly responsible for tracking inventory in the clerk's office. Apparently he does not think it is the clerk's job. Listen to what he said on the Bill Becker Show.
That is another misperception. The clerk conducts an annual inventory of equipment that has initial cost or value at acquisition of $1,000 or more. The clerk's role is to conduct the inventory and ascertain things that are missing and report that to County Administrator, Board of County Commissioners. It is the Board of County Commissioners ultimately with the responsibility of rectifying those issues. So the clerk reviews the inventory, reviews and finds out what's missing, but it's not the clerk's role to manage the inventory. It is the board's responsibility. But it's not the clerk's role to manage the inventory. It is the board's responsibility. But it's not the clerk's role to manage the inventory. It is the board's responsibility.
Unbelievable. Now there are two things I need to do.
What are they?
Help you load the truck and plan a cruise. Call your commissioners and tell them to do their jobs instead of covering for failure. Oh, and elect Matt Gardy clerk of courts so someone responsible can watch your county assets. Paid by Matt Gardy, Republican, for clerk of courts.